In this movie, we're going to be exploring the main differences between print design and web design. If you're new to the world of web design, this is going to be very important for you to understand some of the, shall we say, eccentricities of web design and how it differs from that of the world of print. So first of all, print is an actual thing. It's something that we have the ability to touch, feel, and we can share it with our friends. The web is a little different. The web is an experience. It's fluid, interactive, and it's constantly evolving. Print is great for things like books, magazines, and catalogs, business cards, envelopes, and letterhead. It's also great for posters, flyers, and billboards. Whereas web is the way that people share experiences, photos, and moments. They provide an interactive way to experience events and places that happen throughout the world. And it also is the best place for immersive content like video, audio, and especially large imagery. The key differences between print and web design: first and foremost, websites are based in pixels, not inches. Screens produce color in RGB, or red, green, and blue, not the traditional CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black that most print designers are used to. Typography on the web can be rather limiting and at times even frustrating for a web designer, whereas in print you set the font size, the color, and the line spacing and line breaks. On the web, you get to set that initial appearance, but many users can override that with the settings in their browser, which can totally change the look and feel of your design. The web is accessed via many different ways, whereas print, you just have whatever it is that you've printed, a business card, a poster, a flyer, whatever. But the web could be accessed via a tablet device, a mobile phone, a gigantic 30-inch monitor. Every one of those experiences is different, and you have to adapt your website accordingly to match all of those different nuances. File size is also a very big deal when you're dealing with websites. Whereas print files can be pretty much as big as you want them to be, a website's file size determines how quickly it loads. And if your website's not loading quickly, people are going somewhere else for the information they're looking for. In order to design for the web, you must think like a web designer, which can be a little tough at first because there's so many different things that you have to think about. You have to think about how the user will interact with your design. It's not just that they're picking it up and reading it, they're actually going to be immersing themselves in an experience that you create, especially when it comes to tablet devices and mobile phones, because the user will actually have their hands on your content and be able to move through it with gestures and all that kind of stuff. You have to determine the best way to present all of the information that you have at any screen size that's possible. Now, that's way different from the print world, because in print, you're locked into a specific page size. On the web, there's no such thing as page size, really. There's no 8.5 by 11. There's no tabloid. There's no A sizes. None of that stuff exists. You've just got desktop, tablet, mobile, retina, regular DPI, high DPI. There's all kinds of different things, and you have to know how to make your content and the information be presented in the best way possible. One of the things that I often tell brand new web designers is that you must let go of your need to control things. The web cannot be controlled. In fact, it pretty much controls you. There are rules of layouts and rules of HTML and CSS and all that stuff that you have to follow. Whereas with print, you're limited only by your imagination. On the web, you have several governing factors that control exactly where things can and should go. No matter what, your design is going to look different. You cannot ensure consistent appearance across all of these different types of devices. Even across the same type of device, your website is going to look different from one desktop to another, from one laptop to another, and from one phone to another. That's something that, unfortunately, as long as there's multiple devices, screen sizes, resolutions, and browsers, you simply can't get around. And that's one of the hardest things I think that print designers have to let go of. When we design for print, we're just designing something, and as soon as it prints, we know it's going to look exactly as it did on our screen because that's how it works. And when we design for the web, we have what we see on our screen, but then the user might experience something different, or they might have something in their browser that disables something that we had going on that page. It can be frustrating, but you have to figure out ways around that to make your content look its best. That is why testing your design should always be a priority. Remember, you're creating an experience for lots of different people across lots of different devices. And it's up to you to make sure that you do your homework before you publish your website so that you understand exactly what those people are going to be seeing in every single instance.